Good day, fella. I made a boss card for every boss, just like the one you see on screen. They all include a fight breakdown and all the boss's abilities and their cooldowns. You can grab the current boss card using the link in the description, but if you would like access to them all, they are neatly organized on my Discord. Links down there too. If the boss gets any update, I'll be updating the boss card with the new information. And if the changes are big enough, I'll probably make a new video about it. Moar'gore, Master of Sacrifice, is the first boss of the Heart of Tuzari, and it is a very simple boss, very few abilities, but it can get out of control very quickly. So the first ability I want to talk about is Siphon Blood. Siphon Blood happens every 10 seconds throughout the fight, and he channels to the statues around the room. These statues will then spawn a little orb that will travel to the boss slowly, and you need to soak them. Before they get into the boss, if they get into the boss, they will just do them party-wide damage. You can see the two mages going to soak this, and they will take the debuff. So once you soak, it means that you take 10% extra damage from all sources. So if an orb comes into the boss, it does AoE damage, they will take 10% extra damage. If they soak another orb right now, they will take 10% extra damage. So obviously this is a way for the game to tell you that everybody should soak, that not one person can only do it, because you will eventually die. And the other ability I want to talk about is Hemorrhaging Strike. That's the tank ability, happens every 30 seconds. And it leaves a very nasty dot on the tank. You should probably heal the tank up, use defensive as a tank here, use an external. It is a scary dot, it does quite a bit of damage. Let's go on. He got 2 stacks right now. Now finally the last ability that the boss does here is Sacrificial Pyre. Half of the arena will get filled with fire. You need to avoid the first cast, and as soon as the cast finishes, the fire will stay. And then if you want to clear these stacks, you need to go into the fire, clear the stacks, and get out. So just take 1 tick of damage going into the fire. As you will see, these 2 fire mages will just drop it. I go in out of habit, even though I don't have any stacks, and they will just clear the stacks out. And that's it. Rinse and repeat. The whole fight is the same thing. Siphon Blood keeps happening, so there are more and more orbs in the fight. You will never ever like soak all the orbs. You try to soak as many orbs as you can, because if not, the fight gets messy. The tank keeps moving the boss, so he avoids the orbs, but you want to soak as many as possible, so it is easier on the tank, easier on everyone else to just fight, and you don't have to move him all the time. But still, it happens way too often for it to be easy to do. And also the boss stays put very long. So orbs are like here, like bouncing on the walls, and then they come here, and you don't see it coming, but then suddenly there's an orb here and he's casting for 3 seconds there. Here the fire mage will have 3 stacks, so he takes 30% extra damage. Mine are about to drop in 1 second, as you can see down here. I have 2 stacks, I take 20% extra damage, etc. Here when we take an orb, because the tank is moving this way and there was an orb coming from this statue, and he walks through it, this fire mage gets 1 shot because he had 3 stacks, so he takes 30% extra damage, so he gets 1 shot. So that is a very dangerous thing about the fight. And that's it. GG's. Vun'Kahr the Thorned Maw is the second boss of Heart of Tuzari, and this boss gave us a lot of trouble the first time we encountered it, because it was very messy. It is a very messy fight. It's a lot of AoE, but first things first is the tank ability, Fangroot Stab. Fangroot Stab is just a cone frontal on the tank, very short range, but be careful if you're melee. It will one-shot you, so just don't be next to the tank, stand behind the boss or anywhere else. Then we have now coming Legion of Vun'Kahr. Legion of Vun'Kahr is an ability that leaves pools on the ground. You can step on these pools to make them disappear and make the seeds not spawn. If you don't step on these pools, seeds will spawn that will eventually be plants. I will explain a bit more now. So there are 3 steps for Legion of Vun'Kahr. First of all, you get the pool. If you step on the pool, it's done, it's gone, no seed spawns. If the pool is not soaked because you didn't get there, because you want to leave some of them up, etc., then you have a seed like this one or like this one over here. These don't do anything until slumber. Once slumber happens from the boss, when the boss starts casting slumber, all the plants that are seeds will spawn, and will spawn slaughter vines like this. Slaughter vines you can encounter throughout the dungeon, and they're a good thing and a bad thing. 40% of the damage due to slaughter vines is done to the boss as well. So it is a good thing to have them up, because the more damage you do in AoE, the more damage the boss will take, the faster it goes. But the bad thing about them is that they reflect part of the damage you do to them. So I have had the pleasure of healing some people or some DPS who had a few crits in a row and they got 1 shot. So be very careful about this, especially when there's a lot of plants up. If you're doing an AoE and something crits or something and you take a lot of damage, be very mindful of this. It is always a nice thing if you can survive it, if your tank can survive it, if your healer can heal it. You just have a few flowers up all the time, so the damage is higher on the boss and the boss lasts less. Then terror vines are coming, which will spawn toxic roots. Toxic roots need to be interrupted and tanked by the tank. And They also do the same thing. 40% of the damage you do to the toxic root gets reflected into the boss, so it's good to just damage them and focus them down, or like AoE them down. So you should always have the tank here, tanks the vine, the roots, and then the flowers as well, and everything together, so you can just AoE them down. This is when sometimes I see melee people dying, because you can see we're getting snap, and then someone like a Taric or a Mara is here on the frontal trying to do the Blade Storm, or trying to leave a poison pool over here or whatever. I'm not very familiar to what they do, I just see it. So, and then they get one shot by the frontal, so be very mindful of that as well. And here, yes, the frontal, and finally we're gonna get Slumber. As soon as we get Slumber, you will see the boss will stop doing anything, and all the plants that are left, all the seeds that are left, will start spawning flowers. Here, the boss is taking 40% increased damage, so this is the time usually when people ult, and they do a lot of damage, and then they take a lot of damage as well. So as a healer, be very mindful about the damage that people are going to take during this phase, because a lot of people just pop their ults here. The vines do, like the roots and the flowers, still attack and everything, and here you just have to kill everything and just go hard on the boss and the ads as well. And finally, that's it, the rinse and repeat. We're going to get Legion again, we're going to get Slumber again, and we're going to get Terror Vines eventually again. So on this Legion, we don't soak any of the things, because we believe we can kill the boss before all the flowers spawn. This is the frontal of the rule, be careful, they do frontals from time to time. And finally we're gonna get Slumber here, and all the plants are gonna come, and he will just melt, because the tank can survive a few seconds with all the Slumber, with all the flowers, excuse me. And it does so much damage to the boss, and the boss is dead. Prophet Ez'rath is the last boss of the Heart of Tuzari, and first thing I want to talk about is about the pull in the middle. The boss can never go through the pull in the middle, because he will enrage, and everything he does will do a lot more damage and probably one-shot you. He starts the fight doing Chosen. These are 4 ads that spawn. There's an extra ad over here that you need to focus them down. If they reach the center, they will put a nasty dot on the whole party. Each of them that reaches puts 1 stack. The more stacks you have, the more damage you take. Then Dark Malice, happens every 25 seconds, and while you have to avoid the close vicinity of the boss, because it will one-shot you, outside of it, it will also hurt everybody in the room, and it's not fall of damage, so it doesn't matter how far away you go. As long as you're out of the circle, it's enough. Let's go a bit faster in the fight. You can also stun the ads, knock them back, grip them, anything to make it go faster. Then we have Wicked Hook. As you can see, the mage is targeted by the little arrow on top of their head, and you can aim this at one of the chosen and it will hook it and bring it next to him. Or if there are no chosen available, the tanks will always take its ability, because it will one-shot any DPS out there. So always try to tank it. There, the chosen got gripped, and then we have 1 left, and that's it. When the chosen die, they will leave this little skull that will shoot out a beam and go around it, and this hurt a lot. So don't get hit by them while you walk. There will be a lot of movement throughout the fight, because Dark Malice happens, and Abyssal Next phase 2 happens as well, which make you move around the room a lot. So be very careful with the lines that they leave. Here we get another Wicked Hook, and now we don't have any ads, so now the tank needs to go in front of it. Tank can easily tank it, and it's okay. Then Dark Malice happens again. And now, because the boss went below 50%, we could still damage him because he was casting Dark Malice, but as soon as he gets to 50%, he casts Abyssal Nexus, which is the second phase, pretty much. The boss stays the same, but the new thing is that there will be lines through the room. The room gets divided into 4 quadrants. You should always try to be stacked in the same quadrant so the healer can reach you easily, and the tank can tank Wicked Hooks and etc. And here you have 2 choices to go through the fight. If you have enough damage, you can just ignore the ads and go fully on boss. Or if you don't trust the damage that you have, you can just go into ads, kill 1 set of ads, and then kill the boss. The ads always spawn on second phase. It has happened to us as well, where we have just spawned the ads on first phase because they have an 80-second cooldown. So it's taking us 80 seconds to gain him to like 55% HP. He spawns ads, and then he gets to 50%, he does Abyssal Nexus, and the ads spawn again. So be very mindful of that. Try to either push him hard, so you can only get 1 set of ads in the first phase, or wait with your DPS, kill the ads, and then do it again. Then we have Dark Malice, it's the same thing, but you just have the lines in the middle that you just cannot get hit by it. You will get one-shot by the lines. Here, the tank grip the ads so we can damage them and they don't get in. I go and target that one and stun it so he doesn't get the buff in. You can stun, you can grip, you can do anything to just avoid them to go in, and that's it. GG's. Subscribe for more boss breakdowns and boss cards. I'll keep updating this and making it for the new ones. And if you want the latest news, don't forget to join the Discord. Thank you and have a good day.